In a quiet corner of the city, beneath the shadow of tall glass buildings, lived a girl named Lily. She was only 9, but life had forced her to grow up far too quickly. After her parents were lost in a tragic fire, Lily became the caretaker of her 2 younger siblings, Sam, who was 6, and baby Emma, barely 2. They lived in a small shelter, barely scraping by each day. Lily had one talent. She could make the most beautiful paper flowers anyone had ever seen. She had learned it from her mother, who used to fold paper roses at bedtime, saying, "A flower made with love never fades." Now, Lily spent her days sitting on a street corner with her little basket of colorful paper blooms, hoping kind strangers might trade coins for beauty. But in a city where people rushed past glowing screens and coffee cups, kindness was hard to find. Most days, Lily sold nothing. And yet, she never complained. Every night, she'd return to the shelter with empty hands, but full of hope. She'd tell stories to her siblings, feed them the little she had, and tuck them in with a lullaby that sounded more like a prayer than a song. One icy winter morning, Lily was on her usual corner. Her fingers were numb, but she kept folding petals, roses, daisies, sunflowers, all crafted with tender care. That day, an old man stopped. He was wrapped in layers of worn clothes, his beard tangled, his eyes tired. "How much for a flower?" he asked with a raspy voice. Lily looked at him, clearly homeless, clearly hungry, and shook her head. "It's a gift," she said with a warm smile. "You look like you need something beautiful today." The man stared at her, stunned. Then he took a single red rose, whispered a thank you, and disappeared into the crowd. The next morning, Lily returned to her corner, surprised to find something waiting, a small box. On top was a note. "For the girl who gave with nothing to gain. The flower you gave saved a life." Inside was a crisp $100 bill and a beautiful silver pin shaped like a flower. Lily blinked in shock. Was this real? In the days that followed, strange things began to happen. A woman who bought a paper flower left Lily her lunch. A street musician gave her a wool scarf. A baker across the street began leaving a warm bun on her basket every morning. But the most incredible thing happened 2 weeks later. A young couple pulled up in a fancy car. The woman had tears in her eyes. She held out a paper flower, Lily's red rose. "My father was the man you gave this to," she said, voice trembling. "He'd lost everything and was going to end his life that night. But your flower reminded him of beauty. He came home instead." The woman knelt beside Lily. "We want to help you," she said gently. "Not as charity, but because the world needs people like you." That day, Lily and her siblings were moved to a warm home, funded by the family. She was enrolled in school. Her paper flowers turned into a real business, Lily's Blooms. Customers loved not just the flowers, but the story behind them. Years passed. Lily grew into a young woman with a quiet strength and a heart full of compassion. She often told the story of that day, the paper flower, the old man, the magic of one small act of kindness. But she always ended her story the same way. Even when you have nothing, you still have something to give, your kindness. And sometimes that's the one thing the world needs most. Even in poverty, kindness blooms. Lily had nothing material, but she gave from her heart. That simple act became a ripple that changed her life and others. We don't need wealth to change the world, just a willingness to care. If Lily's story touched your heart, don't just watch. Be the kindness. Share this video to inspire others. Comment below. What would you do if you were in Lily's place? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more heart-touching stories on Wisdom Tales.